Hello there, guys. Today we're going to be talking about Going Under and its platinum. We'll be covering 10 story related trophies, 5 side quest trophies, 5 miscellaneous trophies, and 3 DLC trophies. Let's get going. We are here on the PlayStation profile for Going Under. Now, this is a little bit of an uncommon game, if you can just see with the number of game owners. There's only 2,051 registered players who have played the game, and only 4 recent. So this is a pretty uncommon game, but if you can look here, it does have a 26.69% platinum achiever rating. So this is definitely one of the more easier platinum trophies that you could get, and I'll be going over all of that today. But something worth noting is if you look at the far right here, that's just above my head, 66 people have 100%ed the game. So that's including the main game and the DLC, and there is a good reason for that. Again, I will be covering all of this. Now, without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start by scrolling down. Yep, here we go. Every time it's going to be like this. So, the platinum itself, as I said before, it's roughly 27%, nearing 28% completion. Now, I would say this is definitely an easy game. If you're not familiar with Going Under, it's kind of like a hack and slash beat 'em up style game. It's got mechanics that are quite similar to games like Hades. I've not played Hades, but I've seen gameplay of it, and it is very much similar, and is also similar to a game called Curse of the Dead Gods. Now, comparing this game, Going Under, with those two games, this is definitely the easier one. But regardless, it is still a great Wii game. So, if we start off with the trophies at the top, all of these ones, all of the ones that you can see here, so starting with Icebreaker through to You Are Unemployed, all of these are story related. The game is segmented by 3 stages, and you're expected to complete these 3 stages a number of times to complete the game. And if you want to fully complete the game and get the platinum, you will be playing those same dungeons over and over again. It is a tad bit repetitive, but each run can be slightly different just because of how the RNG kind of works. There's going to be different rooms, different layouts, different gear, different items, perks, skills, all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it is really enjoyable, and it only got repetitive when I was doing the DLC trophies. We will get to those, so don't worry. But yeah, all of these trophies that you can see here, they are story related, and yeah, so as you progress through the game, you unlock basically the final stage, and when you do that, you've completed the main story. With the next one here, padded resume, unlock all skills. I will actually click on this trophy here because this is a little bit of a misleading one, just judging from the title here, the description here, unlock all skills. It's not all of them. It isn't actually all of them. This description is more accurate. Collect the original 74 skills. And it's like that because the DLC introduced new skills. And with this guide here, I will just touch on this. Don't worry if this trophy doesn't pop straight away when you get 74 skills. It only means that you don't have the original 74 skills. So for me, what happened was I didn't get this trophy straight away. I kind of had to grind for it because I just was missing some of the skills, some of the original skills. So don't worry about it. Because there was part of the DLC that introduced skills, this has made it just a tiny bit more grindy, but honestly it's totally doable, guys. Totally doable. Yeah. And if you're really lucky, you will just get all of the original ones quite quickly. So that was absolutely no problem at all. Absolutely easy. So don't worry about that one. The next 5 here are the sub stories, kind of like the side objectives and the side quests with each character that you interact with in the main story. My personal favorite is Fern. I love Fern, but I think one of the more powerful ones that you can upgrade is Swamp. With these characters, when you unlock them, you can have them as a mentor, and when you play through the game, you get different abilities depending on what mentor you have, and you can upgrade these mentors through doing their side quest. So when you complete any character's mentorship, it just means that you've fully upgraded them and you've done all of the side objectives with them. So yeah, I would recommend doing that as soon as possible. It will make your life a lot easier. Now, the next one is open 100 delivery cubes. You will find a lot of these delivery cubes. As you can see, 50% completion rate. Like, yeah, this is totally doable. If you just plow through the main story, you will get this naturally. Kill a hungry box is the next one. A hungry box is a really I don't know if it's a really rare enemy, but it's rarer than others, and it basically disguises itself as a box, but it actually turns out that it's an enemy. And as soon as you kill it, you can you can get the trophy. There is something related to this enemy in the DLC, and I will touch on that if I remember. So yeah, the next one is get cursed 13 times. You will 9 times out of 10 want to curse yourself, because when you get cursed, you unlock some really good items and some skills along the way. And yeah, I think you will be doing this naturally. There is one curse that makes the game first person, and that's the only one that I avoid. So all of the other ones are fine, but yeah, that one is particularly bad for me, at least. So yeah. And the last one, we're already at the end of the base game. We still need to talk a lot about the DLC, but yes, the last one is kill a power loader with exit strategist. Power loader is one of the more difficult enemies in one of the stages. It's the kind of like the Bitcoin area. And yeah, with exit strategist, that's one of the skills that you can equip. If you already endorse that skill, endorsing just means as you play the game with particular skills, you can basically level them up so that they become endorsed. And when they are endorsed at the start of each run, you can choose what skill is guaranteed at the start. So if you have exit strategist endorsed, if you equip it and then go into that area, you will get this trophy, basically, unless you get really unlucky and a power loader doesn't spawn. But 9 times out of 10, out of all of the runs that I did on that stage, yeah, it's doable. So that's all of the base game, and you could just get the platinum here and call it a day, and enjoy yourself, get an easy platinum. It's a good game, and it's really underrated. So yeah, you can pat yourself on the back and stop there if you want to. But you know me, I try and go for that full completion. I did the DLC. So there's only 3 here, but don't be fooled. There's 2 here that are really grindy. The first one is win a run in imposter mode. Just think imposter mode as hard mode. Imposter mode mixes all three stages into one run, and then at the end you face the imposter, which is basically like the shadow version of you. Think of like Dark Link, Shadow Link, from Legends of Zelda. It's kind of like the same thing, and yeah, I actually really like this DLC. I really like how it does really get at the imposter syndrome for the main character. I think that is actually a really nice touch, and to have this as free DLC as well is really nice. And the name of this DLC is Working from Home. I'm pretty sure this was released not too long ago. I don't know if it was this year or last year, but yeah, it's fairly new in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I'm glad that they updated it. And I think without it, this game would be a little bit bare bones, just because of how fast you can fully complete the game. But yeah, the DLC kind of rejigs it, revitalizes it, and you have way more playtime with this DLC. So I would recommend that. So in that DLC. So yeah, so the first one is fine. Complete a run, win it, brilliant. The second one, however, complete the imposter's final test. You have to win the imposter mode, I want to say like 8 or 9 times. And with each time, the enemies get stronger. There's limitations. You might get cursed straight away. Yeah, like it gets pretty difficult. And yeah, this is when you would probably want to ask yourself if you want to play in assist mode. Assist mode makes this game really easy. Assist mode changes how much health you have at the start of the run, how much invincibility frames you have on your dodges, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you put assist mode on, I don't blame you, because the imposter run itself is just it can get really, really hard if you're just playing on the base game without assist mode. So yeah, but if you're having trouble, put on assist mode and just grind this. It's doable. If I can do it, you can do it. The next one is probably the grindiest one. They introduced a new room that you can encounter in the base game as well. And you can do this throughout your entire playthrough. And I would actually recommend you start this as soon as you can if you're looking to do the 100%. Complete the Rolodex. In this game, you can collect business cards. And how you can collect business cards is either talking to people a certain amount of time. So for instance, the shopkeepers, if you exhaust all of their conversation options, they will just give you their business card. So for instance, you can do that with the entrepreneur. You can do that with all of the shops. And I'm pretty sure you can get one from the dog as well if you just interact with the dog that's in the hub area. So yeah, all of those. You can get the cards by completing mentorships. You will naturally be doing the mentorships if you're doing the platinum, so don't worry about that. The third one is the grindy one. It introduces a room where you can get a particular item, and it's just a blank business card. You need to kill each enemy and boss in the game. So that's 3 stages, and the final stage, and the imposter boss, all with that blank business card. You need to keep it in your inventory, and when you encounter an enemy that you don't have a business card for, you kill them with that. Now, in practice, this is difficult. In theory, it's easy, because the blank card does quite a bit of damage. It does like 50, and you can increase it if basically if you're lucky. But with how the actual weapon works, you throw it, and sometimes it just doesn't home in on the enemy that you want. You can slightly use it you can use it in like a group setting where there's like the slightest bit of AoE damage, but I wouldn't recommend doing that all the time. You really have to line up your shot perfectly on some enemies. So yeah, like and the bosses as well. There's one particular boss that has multiple phases. It's the hard version of what? So which one is it? Of the Tinder, the dating company, that stage, and it's like a yellow blob. Use the blank card when that yellow blob is really small, because I tried to use it earlier and it didn't work. So just bear that in mind. You might you might mess up basically these blank cards. So yeah, this one is the big grindy trophy for the game. And I would say start it as soon as you can when you start playing this game. It will make your life a lot easier. Now, I mentioned Hungry Box. So like the rare enemy Hungry Box. Sorry, my throat's killing me. You need to also use the blank card on that rare enemy as well. So bear that in mind. There's going to be rarer enemies that don't appear all the time. So it's really important that you always have a blank card in your inventory just in case they pop up. So yeah, all of that in mind. It is still doable, but I can see why it's 12.37% rarity, and the overall 100% is sitting at a measly 3.22. It's totally understandable. It is grindy, but the game itself is great. It is a really underrated game, a lot of charm. Some people might think the characters are annoying, but they're annoying for a reason. The game is trying to say, hey, companies take advantage of their employees, especially the interns. And yeah, I think the character designs are really cool as well. I really like this guy here for the thumbnail, the caffeine. That's just amazing, man. Yeah, and I can totally sympathize with him. But yes, now to round it off, would I recommend this? Yeah, it's a strong recommendation, guys. I got this really cheap as well for what it is, and it is a quicker game, but you can make it longer if you choose to do the DLC, and it's definitely worth the platinum and the DLC as well. I hope you guys have enjoyed this platinum review, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.